Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing another NBA discussion type of video, this time actually revolving around Buddy Hield and a potential trade to the Los Angeles Lakers, and whether or not I think they should potentially try and trade for him. And yeah, pretty much, as well as, should Sacramento really trade him as well. But yeah, in my opinion, I don't think it would be a bad idea for the Lakers to look at Buddy Hield. He's arguably about to go on his prime, I'd say, next season. He's putting up decent numbers this season. Hasn't exactly been, the greatest, and definitely was possibly worse than his previous season, where he was averaging 43% from the field and averaging 20.7 points on less minutes, while this season he's averaging 20.4 and 38.5. So, hasn't been a bad season. He did actually get benched. There's a lot of things where Buddy Hield might not even be playing as good as he wants to, due to the fact where he pretty much doesn't really want to be at Sacramento. I'm pretty sure, he's made that quite clear, and there's been some rumors that he might potentially request a trade at the season end. And I don't think it would be exactly the worst, thing for the Sacramento Kings to potentially try and trade him. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers are having a very good season, although it does look like they really struggle to beat, the best of the best type of teams in the NBA. When they go up against Milwaukee or the Clippers, it does look like they do have a lack of, firepower and stars on their team. I mean, besides Anthony Davis and LeBron, it's pretty much a bunch of role players that aren't exactly that good. For example, Kyle Kuzma, who has not been good at all this season. I mean, he's putting up empty numbers, really, and he's, not being a good defender at all this season. He's averaging 33.2% from three. Well, they've had a couple of decent role players here and there this season, like KCP, who's been actually very good in my opinion this season, currently 41.5% from three. Danny Green, who's a bit overpaid in my opinion, averaging 8.6 points from 37.8% from three. They could potentially look to put him in a deal that for Buddy Hield if they really wanted to. Obviously, both teams could potentially, win that, as Sacramento could get an older type of veteran player who's still good with the three ball and will most likely apply better defense than what Buddy Hield would, especially on the perimeter. They could try and work something out like that, but I'm sure that the Sacramento Kings are going to want Kyle Kuzma. And in my opinion, I think if there was to be a trade that would happen, look, I don't actually think that Buddy Hield is really going to be the answer for the Lakers. I think they should try and get Bogdan, because Buddy Hield is on a pretty big contract for... Really, I'm not too sure if he's worth what he's been putting up. Yes, he's been putting up good numbers, but his defense hasn't been that great at all. And they've kind of been some empty numbers, as they haven't really been winning games or anything like that. And yeah, I'm not really too sure how it would go, but he would be very good with LeBron. Obviously, LeBron loves his three-point shooters, and I think Buddy Hield would be a very good player to put alongside him, and still obviously averages 20 points, which again... Every player that plays with LeBron, their points do eventually go down, except for maybe Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving are probably the two exceptions of players where their points have really gone down. Those two players, arguably two of the best players that have played with LeBron, have both, really put up better numbers since he was actually on the team. But yeah, I think Kyle Kuzma is definitely not in the right fit with the Lakers at the moment. Danny Green, I'm just not too sure how much of a fan I am of him. Obviously, he plays 25 minutes a game, does shoot pretty well, and is a good perimeter defender, but doesn't score oftenly as much as I would potentially think he should. And yeah, also, the fact that Kyle Kuzma, I think he's really going to fall out of the Lakers' rotation even more when DeMarcus Cousins does come back. Obviously, yes, DeMarcus Cousins will be coming back from that knee injury, so he probably won't play as many minutes if he does come back in the finals. But if he does, come back through the start of the season and they've still got Kuzma on the list, DeMarcus Cousins will be starting with Anthony Davis at power forward, and then Kuzma would have to come off the bench as a small forward, which we've obviously seen him struggle with quite a bit this season. So I'm not exactly too much of a fan of that at all, and yeah, I just don't really know how that is going to go. But obviously as well, just based on the fact that the Lakers do have some pretty decent role players, but I feel like they need that third star, the third, I'd say, player to LeBron that's usually a pretty decent shooter. Obviously, we've seen Chris Bosh, we've seen Kevin Love. This time, I think it could be Buddy Hield, could be the next one. I think Buddy Hield would be a better fit than maybe those two potentially, because Buddy Hield's so much more quicker, so much more faster, and all that type of stuff. And he's just a guard. LeBron's never really played with, a third star that has been a guard. Obviously, at the Heat and at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they were both power forward slash center. And then when he got to the Lakers, if you're going to call Kyle Kuzma as a third star, which I heard some people actually doing, which again, I don't really like, but at the moment, you'd say Kuzma's probably their third or so best player, even with a down season. He is a power forward as well. So pretty much 3 power forwards. I think it would flip the switch a little bit and give him a third star that's a guard, which would be pretty interesting. Buddy Hield's not exactly on the best contract, but if let's just say you trade him and Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma and Danny Green, sorry, that's going to be about $19 million right there. And yeah, they could get Buddy Hield for really only paying $3 million extra, and they get way better scoring, way better production, and all that type of stuff. And then they'll have another open roster spot, which they can potentially sign someone, a veteran type of player for cheap in the offseason. And yeah, they will be bringing back DeMarcus Cousins as well, which I think would be a pretty interesting sight to see with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, do I think they should do it? Again, I don't really think the Lakers should be trading for Buddy Hield. I think they should potentially trade for Bogdan from, the Sacramento Kings as well, who'll probably get a sign and trade again. They can get him on a better contract, a cheaper contract as well, but they would probably have to pay more, as Buddy Hield, yes, is on a bigger contract and is obviously not happy at all at Sacramento. So they're not exactly going to get the greatest value out of him at all, while, they would most likely get probably as much value from Bogdan, if not even more value from him as well. But yeah, even though Buddy Hield is the better player, it's just different circumstances, and Hield's, really hasn't wanted to be there for quite a while now, and I'm still just waiting to see when he actually does eventually request a trade, which I think he most likely will do. But yeah, in my opinion, the Lakers should be keeping KCP. In my opinion, KCP is just a better role player than what Danny Green has been. Danny Green's getting older and will start to regress a little bit. So yeah, actually probably Danny Green's better than KCP at the moment, but I really think KCP does have some potential. And even though he got a lot of hate, at the start of the season, all that type of stuff, he actually has been very good recently, and I think a lot of people are starting to accept that. And then yeah, LeBron could roll out with a starting 5 of potentially himself at point guard, Buddy Hield at shooting guard, KCP, I think, would be the small forward, Anthony Davis at power forward, and then obviously, DeMarcus Cousins at center. So that would be a pretty good team with potentially Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Alex Caruso, etc. off the bench. So yeah, I think that would be a pretty interesting team to see the Lakers actually rolling out. But I think it also really comes down to, what are the Lakers going to do this season? Are they going to win the championship? If not, I think there's definitely going to be a lot of changes, and a lot of changes quick, because yeah, Kyle Kuzma just definitely does not fit on the team, and I think it would be better if they traded him while they can now. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA and sports content. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and IRL/vlogging channels. Links for them are in the description down below, and go check out my podcast if you haven't already. And comment in the comments section down below, what are your thoughts and opinions on the Los Angeles Lakers potentially trading for Buddy Hield? Do you guys think they should do it? Do you guys think they should not trade for him? Or do you guys think they should trade for Bogdan? Again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.